Hi everyone! Today I'm going to be talking to you guys a little bit about craft beer and one of my favorite breweries, Cowbell Brewery. The reason I picked Cowbell is because I do work for them and they've taught me so much about craft beer that I thought I'd like to share that knowledge with you guys. So Cowbell Brewery is a brewery based out of Blythe, Ontario. They are about 2.5 hours from Toronto. I personally am part of the Toronto events team. So I do certain events such as Wolfpack games, tastings, I serve beer at craft beer festivals, and the list goes on. So working with Cowbell, I've learned a lot about craft beer. I've learned that there's not just one style of beer like Bud or Coors Light. I've learned that you can get so many different styles, anything from a sour, a super fruity strawberry beer, to a citrusy IPA, and to like a milk chocolate stout. Basically, I think there's a beer for everyone out there, so I wanted to kind of expand my knowledge and what I know about craft beer onto everyone else. So I'm going to be talking about 3 of my favorite beers from Cowbell Brewery. So the first one I'm going to talk about is the Absent Landlord. This is a country Kolsch style beer. So basically, a Kolsch style beer is normally made within Germany. Since this one is made in Ontario and uses different hops and temperatures for the brewing process, that's why they had to call it a country Kolsch, because it's not technically a traditional Kolsch style beer. Absent Landlord was actually the first beer that Cowbell Brewery brewed. So this one's pretty important and pretty well known. And it's more of a lagered ale, so it is along the lines of something lighter. When looking at craft beer, people normally look for 2 things. They look for the ABV, which is the alcohol by volume, and that's basically just the percentage of alcohol within the beer that you're drinking. And then they also look for the IBU. This stands for the International Bitterness Unit, and you'll start to see a lot more of cans of beer and whatnot contain the IBU. Basically, the IBU is a set of numbers ranging from 1 to 100 that the higher that number is, the more bitter that beer is. So what makes a beer bitter is the style of hops that a beer contains. So if you like a super hoppy beer, normally the IBU would be between 60 to 100, just because of the bitterness. Next, I'm going to be talking about the Doc Prideaux's Bobcat. So this is a West Coast style red ale. So for those of you that normally like to drink like a Rickard's Red or an amber beer, this beer would be super perfect for you. This is a super popular amber beer that a lot of people love and a lot of people actually do know of. And I really like it as well. The IBU on this one is 30, so it's a little bit higher. It does have those notes of hoppiness to it, but it's not super hoppy. Basically, hoppy just means bitter, so it's not super bitter. And then lastly, I'm going to be talking about Kelly's Contraption. This is probably my favorite beer that Cowbell makes. This is a New World Hefeweizen, so it's a wheat style beer, obviously kind of a German style wheat beer. The notes in this that you get are banana and bubblegum. So if you're not really a big beer drinker, I like to recommend this to people to try and get them into the craft beer tastings and whatnot, because it doesn't really taste like a super fizzy carbonated beer. It's a nice, smooth, fruity tasting beer, which I really like, and it's perfect for a hot day. So I hope you guys learned a little bit more about craft beer, and if you have any questions, let me know, and remember to always drink responsibly. Thanks.